Coal is the traditional way that we power our homes in Indiana. But in some parts of the state, there's a new technology that's taken an old idea and turning it inside out. I'm in a flat, windy part of Indiana investigating a wind farm. I don't think that's part of the farm, but I know I'm close. This is a wind farm. These things that look like giant fans are called wind turbines. A wind turbine generates electricity. The blades on these turbines are designed to catch the wind and spin. And as we know, if something is spinning, we can transfer that energy into a generator, which will produce electric current. Here in northwestern Indiana, wind turbines are popping up all over, and there are lots more to come. Right now, the wind farm can produce power for about 60,000 homes. One wind turbine doesn't make a wind farm, but hundreds of them do. And in this part of Indiana, we have hundreds of wind turbines generating tremendous amounts of electricity. When this project is finished, Indiana will be home to the largest wind farm east of the Mississippi River and will be capable of adding electricity to the grid at a rate of 400 megawatts, about 15% of what the whole state of Indiana needs. But it's going to take a lot of work to get there because these things are huge. Wow, over 125 feet long, and this is only one blade of three. It's like a flying football field, it's so big. Everything's big, even the bolts that hold this thing together.
When you see them out, from the highway or whatever, they don't look so big, but actually whenever you get up next to them, you can kind of get some scale and see really how big they are. Probably about a 25, 26-story building.
The process starts by finding the right location.
We'll start off actually looking at various windy sites basically throughout the U.S. Try to see where there's access to transmission lines. So those are the big overhead lines that make up the power grid for the U.S. There is a lot of science to it, and we work basically with weathermen who are specialists in looking at wind and looking at wind energy.
When an area has been selected, construction begins. Roads have to be built to accommodate the trucks hauling in the gigantic wind turbine components. When the access roads are complete, work on the foundation can begin. A framework of iron rebar is secured and covered in cement.
There's roughly from 60 to 90,000 pounds of rebar in each foundation. There's roughly 320 to 450 cubic yards of concrete per foundation.
This will become the base for a very tall tower. The strongest winds are up high. That's why it takes a big tower like this for a big wind turbine. At the top sits the nacelle. This houses the generator. This is the hub where the three blades come together to make the rotor assembly. Right here is where the hub and the rotors are attached that do all the spinning. When a wind turbine is complete, they are inspected and ready to begin their life contributing to the grid.
When you look at it and you see them spinning in the air and you think that that's producing power, and you think, what is it using to produce that energy? Just the wind.
These turbines only need a wind speed of 6 to 8 miles an hour to work. And in this windy area, these turbines are almost always spinning. Energy from the turning blades is transferred inside the nacelle to a generator. As electricity is generated, it is sent down the tower into an underground network of transmission lines. These lines are fed into the existing transmission lines near the wind farm. With this system in place, all of these wind turbines are adding power to the grid. For a wind farm, generating electricity is a breeze.